The world of the faith is shocked today. Tamela Mann, whose voice has been used on many beloved praise songs, is going through one of the saddest times in her life. Fans are shocked by something so personal and sad that just came to light. What took place behind the scenes? You won't be able to say anything when you hear the truth. Tamela Mann does more than sing church. She is strong in her religion, her family, and her music. For years her singing has brought joy to millions of people and filled church halls and living rooms with praise. But something very painful has just been shown behind the strong voice and bright smile. We're going to talk in depth about the terrible news that is shaking the church community in this video. We'll show you what's really going on with Tamela and her family right now by breaking down recent news stories and rumors with facts that have been checked out. Your mind will not believe the struggles this tough woman has been through, both in public and in private. From health problems to family problems to money problems, and now this. Now things start to get interesting. Now things start to really happen. Hold on, because what's about to happen could change how you see Tamela Mann and what it means to sacrifice faith, fame, and family when everyone is looking. For many fans, Tamela Mann is the embodiment of strength. He always looks calm and joyful on stage, smiling as he sings strong ballads of deliverance and healing. But not many people knew that behind those acts, she was dealing with a personal problem that almost ended her career and life. Tamela has had a lot of health problems over the years, like having multiple knee surgeries, losing a lot of weight, and having constant joint pain. These problems have hurt her body and mind. In 2019, she shocked a lot of her fans by getting a dangerous treatment to replace both knees, especially for someone who is always on tour in the public's eye. Most people don't know this though, but the pain had been building for years. Tamela said that just getting on stage turned into a fight. In one interview, she said that she had to physically pray herself onto the stage, putting up with unbearable pain just to play the music that had become her ministry. But this part really hurts. No one was supposed to know. Tamela hidden her pain behind smiles and harmonies while she was in pain. Why? She said it herself. I didn't want to look weak. I didn't want to let people down. Lots of gospel artists feel that mental weight, the need to always look strong, even when their bodies are breaking down. But they don't talk about it. In the case of Tamela, it wasn't just about appearing good, it was to keep her calling safe. Now add the mental ups and downs of being shamed in public for your body. Tamela has had to deal with this for a long time. She tried to improve her health by working out, eating well, and even becoming a formerly Weight Watchers advocate, but people kept criticizing her. Trolls on the internet questioned her progress, compared her to others, and made mean comments about how she looked. They forgot that behind the gospel star is a real woman who is going through real pain. Still, she kept going. Tamela's choice to tell everyone about her new health wasn't based on pride, in terms of living a long time. The most important thing to her was being able to be there for her family and stay healthy enough to keep acting. They don't want you to know this shocking fact though. It wasn't better for her health after the surgery. In fact, some sources say that the stress of having to go back on tour too soon may have led to problems that haven't been talked about in public yet. Many Tamela Mann fans don't fully understand the emotional weight she has carried as the heart of her family, not just as a mother and wife but also as a provider, spiritual center, and public figure. Her health problems are already very painful. Many people think of Tamela and David Mann as gospel royalty, so let's talk about them. People have looked up to them as the perfect model of black love, Christian marriage, and working together as artists. It's clear that they get along both on stage and in movies. If you watch Tyler Perry's shows or go to a live gospel show, the Manns have always seemed like a solid group. But the truth has been much more complex than the picture of peace and laughter. Behind closed doors, Tamela has had to deal with a lot of pressure from her family, business choices, and personal problems that would normally make most women give up. She is married to David, who has also been in some scandals and had some personal problems. She has 5 children, one of whom, Tamela Mann, has talked about her own problems with depression, anxiety, and low self-esteem. This is what Tamela has always had to deal with. What do you do to keep your kids safe when everyone is looking? There were times when Tamela wondered if she was doing too much or not enough, as she has said in interviews. She once said that people see the laughs and smiles but not the tears that happen behind closed doors. They have never prayed for their kids in the dark and then gone to a concert that same night. The business side comes next. David and Tamela have built a huge business together. Art, music, trips, and business deals. But running a business with your spouse can be both good and bad. Close family friends say there have been arguments about money, work, and different ideas for the family brand. Some people even say that Tamela has had to deal with more mental stress in the past few years, especially during David's health scares and public blunders. Many of David's friends didn't find out about his own health scare in 2021 until a long time had passed. Insiders say Tamela didn't get much sleep during that time because she was trying to stay mentally strong while caring for others, planning tours, and taking care of her family. That's not all. Relationships with the man's extended family have also been tense, and some of them are said to have tried to use his fame for their own gain. One heartbreaking case involved a distant relative leaking private family arguments to a gossip blog. This made Tama, who had always taken pride in keeping family affairs private, feel bad. One family member said that Tama holds everything together, but when the pressure is too high, even glue breaks. Tamela's mental health has been slowly getting worse over time because she has to be the strong one, the peacemaker, the giver, and the performer all the time. People close to her say she has quietly suffered with mental health, even though she hasn't talked about it much in public. People who follow the gospel see a queen on stage, but they don't see the woman crying behind the door to the dressing room, the wife praying all night, the mother worrying about her kids' emotional health, or the friend who has had to stay away from toxic voices, even in her own group. But now things get even more difficult. People who know Tamela well say that the sad news she got recently may be the last straw. She is in a lot of pain right now, and it's not just physical or mental. It goes much deeper than that, and it might have something to do with a much worse loss. We've talked about Tamela Mann's health problems and how being the head of her family emotionally hurts her so far, but neither she nor her friends were ready for the heartbreaking news that came out a few weeks ago. The sort of news that makes you gasp for air, the ones that change you for good. Close friends and stories going around say that Tamela recently lost someone very close to her, not just in title but also in heart. An insider confirms that a loved one died suddenly, putting the whole Mann family through a period of deep sadness. She has kept the details of the death pretty quiet. At first many people thought it was a distant relative. Then fans started putting together confusing social media posts, emotional but vague captions, gospel verses about suffering, and pictures that were full of sadness but no words. Then there was the moment that proved everything. Tamela was supposed to sing at a recent church event, but she shed tears as she walked on stage. Not fully, and not with the normal energy. Instead, her hands were shaking and her voice was cracked. She whispered, "I almost didn't come, but I had to worship even though it hurt." It was shared a lot on gospel blogs and Instagram sites. There was one thing that everyone knew for sure: something bad had happened. The Tamela Mann was sad. People close to the family say that the person Tamela lost was not only related to her by blood, but also someone she looked up to spiritually. Some say a cousin raised her, others think it might have been a longtime guide, like a church mother, who helped her a lot when she was just starting out. We do know that this person was very important in making Tamela who she is, and their death hurt her more than anything else in recent memory. Someone who knows the man well and didn't want to be named said, "Tama is the strongest woman I know, but this broke her. She hasn't been the same since." Fans started to notice that she was feeling heavier in her spirit. She was still praying and showing up. During a recent Facebook Live show, Tama spoke to her fans with obvious feeling. She didn't say much, but she did say, "You guys, it's been rough. Even though it hurts, I still believe God is good even though I lost someone very important to me." Those few words caused thousands of responses. A lot of prayers, condolences, and words of love were left in the comments. They did show something else, though, that shows how close Tama is to her fans. It wasn't just a famous person that people were behind. They were in grief with a Christian sister. Things didn't calm down after that, though. In the days after the loss, there were reports going around online that Tamela might be taking a break from music, if only for a short time. There were some quiet tour dates that were cancelled. Her activity on social media decreased, and rumors spread among people in the business that she might be retiring, but nothing has been confirmed. Okay, let's be clear, Tamela has not really left, but people who know her well say the talk is going on. She's not sure how much more she can handle, especially since she just lost her boyfriend. This is the most painful part. A few people have used her sadness as an excuse to attack her. A few people online started criticizing her cancelled shows, questioning her commitment, and even saying she was trying to get pity. It's a harsh truth for many famous people. Some people will still want your light even when things look the darkest. But church fans aren't going to be quiet. Supporters have gathered around Tamela with words like, "We stand with Tamela and pray for the Manns." They have left her comments full of love, scripture, and stories about how her music helped them get through their tough times. Even though Tamela has been through a lot of sadness, she hasn't lost faith. However, sources say she's currently in a period of deep reflection, where she may be rethinking her purpose, her platform, and how she wants to spend the next part of her life. With all the physical pain and mental grief Tamela has been through, one thing has become very clear. Awards and #1 songs aren't what define her legacy. It is made up of strength, hope, and love. Tamela Mann was more than just a religious singer with a few hits. For him it was a big deal. We're talking about a culture icon, a woman who has given over 30 years of her life to music, ministry, and being a mother. You may know Tamela from her powerful solo ballads like Take Me to the King, or from her parts as Cora Simmons in Tyler Perry's productions, but Tamela has left a mark that goes beyond entertainment. In her music she has comforted the sad, raised the tired, and sung over people in their darkest hours. And during this time of mourning, that love has come back to her in waves. Lots of fans have called out to say nice things and share their stories since the sad news spread. People have said that Tamela's music helped them get through cancer, divorce, sadness, and even death. Someone liked Tamela's music so much that they played God Provides over and over again while they were in the hospital last year. Someone else said, "I buried my mother to take me to the king. Your voice was the last thing she heard. You are not alone." These aren't just fans. These are people whose lives have been deeply changed by Tamela's ministry. They don't see her as a celebrity, but as a vessel. But all of this love has brought up a bigger question. What's next for Tamela Mann? According to some sources, she's been having private conversations about taking a break, not retirement, just a break. Some people in the industry think that this break could lead to a new season of ministry, one focused on mentoring, healing retreats, or even writing a memoir. Others think that Tamela may be getting ready for a farewell tour, where she can celebrate her decades-long career while slowly stepping back from the spotlight. Fans have already started using the ton sign to wish Tamela a fond goodbye, hoping to send her flowers while she can still smell them. But here's the surprise. Tamela recently said that God might be calling her to do something new, despite all the grief, pain, and pressure. As part of a live prayer night, she said in a soft voice, "Sometimes your greatest ministry comes from your deepest heartbreak." Could Tamela's next step not be singing, but instead speaking, directing, and pouring into others from a place of being broken and made whole? Some people who are close to her say she's working quietly on a devotional series about how to keep your faith strong through personal loss, mental exhaustion, and physical setbacks. If this is true, it would be a big change in Tamela's legacy, from performer to guide, from entertainer to spiritual matriarch. And not just fans are watching. Well-known gospel artists like Yolanda Adams, Tasha Cobbs Leonard, and CeCe Winans have already reached out to offer support both publicly and privately. Many famous gospel singers are talking about working together on a tribute album to Tamela's life and work. Whether she decides to step away from the spotlight or not, one thing is for sure, Tamela Mann's light will not fade, it will only change. That's because legacies are not built in good times but in the fire. Tamela Mann's journey isn't just a gospel story, it's a human story. It's about a woman whose life she gave to faith, family, and music, whose voice carried others through their storms, and who is now going through her own. From surgeries and chronic pain to a devastating personal loss, Tamela has shown us what true endurance and grace look like. This story is so powerful because she has never said she was perfect or unbeatable. Instead, she has stayed real, raw, and rooted in her faith, even when everything around her fell apart. And maybe that's why so many people feel so strongly about her. We don't just see a gospel icon in Tamela, we see a reflection of ourselves struggling, surviving, and still singing, even if it's through tears. What will happen next? We don't know. Will she come back stronger than ever? Will she take a well-deserved step back? Or will she turn into something completely new, driven by grief but rooted in grace? One thing is for sure, she will choose a path. Tamela Mann's voice will have an impact on many people, not just on the stage. It will live on in their hearts, and no tragedy can erase that. Now it's your turn. If this story moved you, don't scroll away. Hit that like button to show your love. Leave a comment with your prayers or a personal story about how Tamela's music has touched you. Yes, this message needs to be heard. Please subscribe and share this video with people who need to be reminded that there is still light at the end of the tunnel. This is not the end of Tamela Mann's story. It's the start of a new one, full of strength, sorrow, and spiritual purpose. We'll be here to follow it with you.